All right, so look at Jimmy Kimmel right here. ABC suspends Jimmy Kimmel's late night show indefinitely over his remarks about Charlie Kirk's death. All right. Now this was beginning Wednesday, which was yesterday, the 17th, after comments that he made about the Charlie Kirk killing uh, led a group of ABC affiliated stations to say it would not air the show and provoked some ominous comments from a top federal regulator. The veteran late night comic made several remarks about the reaction to conservative activists' assassination, that is Charlie Kirk, last week on Jimmy Kimmel Live. Okay. So Monday and Tuesday nights. Okay, so those are the 2 days they give us, with I guess Monday being the first remarks, and then the following day, Tuesday, continued. So that's Monday the 15th and Tuesday the 16th. So I guess the comment started on Monday the 15th, right? Um, that many in MAGA land are working very hard to capitalize on the murder of Charlie Kirk. Okay, I guess that's one of the things that he said. ABC, which has aired Kimmel's late night show since 2003, moved swiftly after Nexstar Communications Group said it would pull the show starting Wednesday. Kimmel's comments about Kirk's death are offensive and insensitive at a critical time in our national political discourse, said Andrew Alford, president of Nexstar's broadcasting division. Nexstar operates 23 ABC affiliates, so they want us to be divided. Basically, that's what they're using this death, supposed death, whatever. It's a story, and there's a lot of like Martin Luther King Jr. energy. Um, I just found out that Charlie Kirk has the same birthday as George Floyd. So this is just division. This is symbolizing division, okay? Basically, it's a story. These stories, they just pump out in a pattern, and it keeps the world the same as the years go on, because you would think the goal would be to better the world, but that's what we're raised thinking, that it's a real world, right? And we're going to better things. But that's not the case. It balances overall, okay? Things may change for the better, then they go back to the worse, and then better, and then worse. You may have a time period where things are looking better. It's going to balance out somewhere along the line with a time frame that's bad. The fact that people still fall for this stuff is ridiculous. Now, besides all of that being said, okay, there's also like, there's a code at play, and this stuff isn't my opinion. Like, these are undeniable connections, okay? Because notice how Jimmy Kimmel, these comments beginning Monday, that's one day after Jimmy Butler's birthday, the basketball player. Okay. So Jimmy Kimmel trending comments first made one day after Jimmy Butler's birthday. So you get two Jimmys. Don't forget, Donald Trump was shot and injured in the right ear during a campaign rally in Butler. So you get it, the Jimmy Butler connection there. Obviously, Donald Trump is connected here, as he is connected to Charlie Kirk, political wise. Even Jimmy Butler played in Pennsylvania for the Philadelphia 76ers. Notice how Thomas Matthew Crooks, they say that's the guy that fired the rifle hitting Trump in the ear. Well, that Crooks last name connects with Tupac as well, Tupac Shakur. And Charlie Kirk, they say, is assassinated 3 days before the Tupac Shakur death anniversary. So you could see the script right here. Shout out to Richard West because he's the one who's pounded away that Thomas Crooks connection. Did I not mention Tupac was born Lassane Parish Crooks? Right? But shout out to like Thomas Matthew Crooks. Shout out to Richard West because of Richard West repeating that information. That's what leads me to bring it up. So shout out to him. And Jimmy Butler, a lot of people think that that's Michael Jordan's son, even though they're not going to tell you in the mainstream. But you can see how all of these guys connect, right? You know, maybe some of them are related, maybe some of them are not. But Jimmy Butler, it's not my wild theory about him connected to Michael Jordan because there's plenty of videos and information out there on that. But Jimmy Butler, and you get Butler, Pennsylvania, right? Jimmy Kimmel trending with these comments beginning one day after Jimmy Butler's birthday. So you see all of these connections here, right? And we're just 2 slides in. Let's play this video.
We have breaking news. ABC has just announced here that they will be preempting the very well-known show Jimmy Kimmel Live indefinitely. That's confirmed by ABC, and it comes at a very tense time with many of the issues we've been covering tonight. There was a backlash on the right because Jimmy Kimmel, after the Charlie Kirk shooting, made the statement that he viewed, quote, new lows with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them, and with everything they can to score political points from it, end quote. I've just read.
So the reason why I'm done making full, like, I'm not following the story of the aftermath of the fake script with Charlie Kirk, okay? I think it's annoying how decoders are really trying to like capitalize on it. These are the sellout decoders, okay? You don't get monetized by YouTube without being affiliated with being a sellout, okay? Because they have to approve your channel. There's an algorithm at play here, right? You're getting monetized. If you can just straight up be unfiltered truth like I am, going deeper and deeper and deeper, that's not possible to get monetized by YouTube because they have to approve it, okay? But my point being, it's annoying how some of these decoders are following the whole story of, oh, look what we now know about Charlie Kirk. It's like, I'll bring up how this stuff is fake by how he's still connecting with all of this stuff on the world stage. I'm not zeroing in on the whole story in the script. That's how I can tell sellouts from regular decoders, because me being a regular decoder, nobody controlling me, I'm not following a script. I'm just straight up exposing story by story, bam, 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 bam. Oh, look how this connects to that fake story. That's what I'm doing. It's so, I guess that you could say that that's my babbling, that's my rant. But that stuff is kind of cringe, right? Oh, new updates on Charlie Kirk. Yeah, thousands and thousands of views on my video. Okay, that's not going to happen over here. And it has nothing to do with who's a better decoder or nothing like that, right? So, anyways, that's my little rant there. Let's go forward. Because you can see right here that Kirk equals 59, right? And this rant or these comments Monday by Jimmy Kimmel beginning Monday. Look at that, 59 days before his birthday when Kirk equals 59. And excuse me for a second. I would like to see if I'm still recording here because I can't recapture this energy. Okay, and apparently I am recording. Like I said, I'm not reading a script, so a lot of this stuff comes on the fly. I can't recapture it. That's the thing with making these videos is, not only the time that it takes, but having to do it all over again if for some reason you're not recording. That's kind of devastating, right? But you can see Kirk equals 59. These comments begin 59 days before Kimmel's birthday. You get K Kirk, K Kimmel. You can see Jimmy Kimmel's first name is James, and Charlie Kirk's middle name is James. Okay? Even first name Charles, CH, middle name for Kimmel, Christian, CH. This stuff is all with the language, okay? I mentioned the middle name Christian. That's Donald Trump's dad's middle name is Christ. One of these days I'll find out if it's pronounced Christ or Christ, but it spells Christ. You see that right there? Christ, Christian. So look at how all of this stuff still connects. Don't forget that Jimmy Butler connection. Robert Redford just died. His first name is Charles. Okay? And you see the Charles James Kirk connection right there. The character taken out one day before the 9/11 anniversary. Look how it's right-wing political activists. When you could say right wing is like a plane, right? Like a wing on a plane. This stuff is fake, okay? And remember the same birthday as George Floyd, but now you see the connection to Charles Robert Redford Jr., who's trending with his death as well. Charles James Kirk equals 107 right there. And Monday, these comments, Jimmy Kimmel, September 15th, leaves 107 days in the year. Does shooting equal 109 and 107? It does. Shooting equals 107. Shooting equals 109. Charlie Kirk, they say, assassinated on the 10th day of the 9th month. So look at that right there. Shooting even has the 107. So look how that goes. And when I originally did my first and only decode on that trending assassination, I think I missed that as well right there. Okay? So isn't that wild? Right? So again, on the fly, you can see how the stuff is undeniable. This is a political number here because you could see politics 113, BS 113. The number for dishonesty 311, James Christian Kimmel 130 like 13. BS also equals 31, Donald equals 31, Charlie 133 like 13. Jimmy Kimmel's birthday, the 11th month and the 13th day, 1113. Even president, government, and White House equals 133. Okay? And it's a 1 month, 30-day span from Monday. Jimmy Kimmel on Charlie Kirk shooting death. Can we stop angry finger pointing and agree it's horrible and monstrous to shoot another human? That's what that says in that image right there. Remember, it was 59 days before Kimmel's birthday when Kirk equals 59. Well, that 59 days with a span is 60 days, which is the same as 1 month and 30 days. Even politics and BS equal 103, like 13. I should have put that in there. Right? So, I mean, look at that right there. Bam, right? And that 60-day span, remember 59 days before the birthday, but a 60-day span, which is the same as 1 month, 30 days. Donald Trump also equals 60. And these comments begin 29 days before Charlie Kirk's next birthday, and Trump equals 29. All right. So no matter how you run it, script.
ABC announced that Jimmy Kimmel Live will be removed indefinitely from the air due to the comedian's comments on the killing of Charlie Kirk, with the official statement from Nexstar Media Group reading, quote, "Mr. Kimmel's comments about the death of Mr. Kirk are offensive and insensitive at a critical time in our nation's political discourse, and we do not believe they reflect the spectrum of opinions, views, or values of the local communities in which we are located. Continuing to give Mr. Kimmel a broadcast platform in the communities we serve is simply not in the public interest at the current time, and we have made the difficult decision to preempt his show in an effort to let cooler heads prevail as we move towards the resumption of respectful, constructive dialogue."
Oops. Let's go ahead and finish that. So this is just to divide.
Desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them.
Right? And this is just to divide. Okay? This is an actor, a comedian guy. This is completely just a divide, right? When's this plan gonna run out? When is this division gonna run out of time, right? It's ridiculous. You have real people who think this stuff is legitimate. You have people who think this stuff is legitimate. What's this? Of course, there's an ad. I mean, what? This stuff is just whack with these ads. For real. Let's see what this is. Jimmy Kimmel leaving the station or whatever, supposedly, I guess. Right? So, I mean, it's ridiculous. So, suspends his show indefinitely over his remarks about Charlie Kirk. Is there more quotes? What are the quotes Jimmy Kimmel said about Charlie Kirk's death? Okay, I thought they would just straight up tell us. Was it just that one? Or this guy's a comedian. So what? You can't have your opinion anymore? So even if you know the stuff's fake, there's still like a division, right? There's a division amongst people who think this is real, people who know it's fake, with the frustrations there. So the divided states of America. It's the divided states of America, right? The deep and increasing polarization of the country across multiple dimensions, including political, social, and economic divides. And remember, George Floyd, this stuff is so scripted. It's not a coincidence, man. George Floyd with the same birthday as Charlie Kirk, October 14th. Okay? And there's that MLK Jr. energy. people are saying Charlie Kirk's the white MLK Jr. And you remember shooting equals 44, killed on 4-4, kill equals 44, and there's King has the 4 letters like Kirk. Okay, and don't forget we're just past Queen Elizabeth II's death date anniversary with all the Queen, King, Humpty Dumpty fell off a wall, Jack and Jill went up the hill bullshit, right? Bullshit. So I didn't make these slides for no reason, you know. So I just like run it back and just take a look again, let it all soak in. And that's, again, I'm not focusing in on the Charlie Kirk storyline. I'm showing how this Kimmel stuff is connected and all of this other stuff is still connected. That is my duty. That is my duty right there. And that's all the time and energy I have for this story. On to the next. And it may still connect to all of this script. So I will bring it up accordingly. ABC suspends Jimmy Kimmel's late night show indefinitely over the remarks about Charlie Kirk's alleged death. Okay. Still, sometimes I got to think about what's that guy's name? Because never heard of him until this happened. But, we've heard of Kimmel. All right. Until next time. Peace.